Broad topics, broad minds, broad hosts, but not just for broads. This is Broadscast with Kim Goldman and Jackie McDougall.
Welcome to Broadscast. Why am I singing? I don't know. We have a special guest today.
We do?
It's you.
Oh!
Kim is out of the studio today, changing lives, saving the world.
Making magic happen. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
We will get to in a second. But Kim, why don't you tell us a little bit about our sponsor?
So we are sponsored by BarkBox.
Yay!
I feel like I need to create a theme song for them. So today is National Dog Day, one of many national things today. But today's National Dog Day, so we thought it'd be appropriate to talk about BarkBox. Bark, 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 bark. BarkBox. If you go on,
I like
the website,
that you just clucked to BarkBox.
Did I cluck?
That sounded very clucky.
Okay, so the thing with BarkBox, it's really cool. So you get a monthly box of dog goodies. Like, who doesn't love that? Like I love getting shoes every month. So I can't imagine that my dogs wouldn't love to get a package. And you can pick what size dog you have, and it'll design a particular package just for your dog. And then it's a surprise every month. Like, how cool is that?
And if you do this, then maybe the dog won't eat the shoes that you love to get.
Exactly. So you can go to, I have to find it. So you can go to our website to find all of our special promotions and stuff. But if you do getbarkbox.com/broadcast, you get a special deal, right, Jackie?
Yeah, I think it's just slash.
Oh, slash?
Yeah.
That's not a backslash?
No, there's no backslash.
Is it forward?
It's just slash. I don't know. It's slash. Anyway, getbarkbox.com/broadcast. Yes. And then you'll get actually get a free month if you go for a 6 or 12 month subscription.
Oh,
yeah.
Who doesn't love a gift with purchase? Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, BarkBox.
My dogs love a gift with purchase. That's for sure.
I do.
I do. And I have 3 dogs, and you have 2 dogs. And
yes, but they feel like 6.
Right?
Yes.
It's kind of like kids. I feel like you add one, and it feels like many more. Is that just me? I feel the same way with my 3 dogs.
Well, I only have one, so
you have 1 kid, but you have 2 dogs. But my husband would be happy if we had 0 dogs.
I know, but why is that? Because he has to pick up the poop? Who picks up the poop?
He just doesn't want. Life has enough effort that I just think he's not really all that interested in. Our little one, for some reason, we cannot figure out how to train him. Like potty train, or not potty, but house train him. Like we have been working with him. He'll go outside for 2 hours and play and do all his thing, and then come in and pee. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what my dogs do too.
So if anybody out there, what did you do?
It grew out. I mean, they grew out of it. I mean, you have hardwood floors. So, I mean, the truth is we just kept them outside a lot. And then if they came in and they peed, then we just have to keep them outside. And they just ended up growing out of it. There wasn't anything I could do specifically to stop them from peeing in the house. Like people talk about the little poopy pads or potty pads. Like that did not work. They just grew out of it, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I could put a pad down and then he would just pee next to it. It's like,
yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But if anybody has any tips on how I can get my little dog to stop peeing in my house, that's the worst to me when you walk into a house and it smells like dog pee.
Yes, you walk into my house and it smells like cat. Actually, my house smells like animal, but it just smells like...
Yeah, but smelling like the existence of animal is different from smelling like the defecation of... animal.
Dun, dun, dun.
But speaking of getting people's opinions,
speaking of defecation,
we want to make sure that we cannot do this without you. So Broadscast is not about Kim and Jackie as much as we like to think so. We want to hear what you think. So we send out a newsletter every week that we're working on a bigger and better version. So sign up for that on our website, or and actually, if you comment on the newsletter, we will respond to what you think, and also on social media. So Broadscast on Facebook and Broadscast Show on Twitter. And special points if you know why we have Broadscast Show on Twitter and not Broadscast.
I was just telling somebody that story the other day.
Because Jackie thinks she signed up for Twitter and she can't remember the sign in, and Twitter won't help me. So we ended up starting a new one. Yeah, that was like 5 years ago.
But you know what's the best part about that story? I remember exactly where we were when we did it. I mean, we were sitting together at dinner at a restaurant that doesn't even exist, and it was my introduction to Twitter. Like, do you remember? I even remember who I was dating.
Where were we?
Well, I don't remember the name of the place now. It was like a Brazilian place. And you and Jeff and I were having dinner, and I was dating someone whose name I shall not repeat.
Were we on a double date?
No, because I was just dating someone. He didn't go out in public with me.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
That could be one of a number of people.
Oh, nice. No, but I was saying I remember everything about that experience except for the email that we used and the password.
That's so funny. Was it over off the old road?
No, it was not. It was at the mall.
Oh.
You know, where all the cool people go is the mall.
Brazilian at the mall?
Yeah, it was a Brazilian. Yeah, people don't need to know about having participating in our senior moment. No, I don't even. The place is not even there anymore. It's where the new Larson's is. It was an old Brazilian place, right across from Salt Creek.
Oh, I totally remember now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Big brown booth. We were having cocktails. I totally remember the whole situation.
Wow. I can't remember. The funny thing is, you say this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. This morning, I left the house to drop my kid off at school, thinking I'm going to drop my kid off at school and I'm going to come right home. So, you know, why would there be an issue if I'm wearing last night's bed clothes and no bra? Right? I mean, come on. And then I dropped my kid off at school and realized halfway there that he forgot some medication. And so I'm like, okay, I'll head back home. So then I realized I'm almost out of gas. So not only do I have to stop at the gas station, I had to bring you a microphone, and then I had to go get the medicine and bring it back to my kid. And then I got home, and guess what's on the counter? His lunchbox.
Oh.
So it's one of those days. But I can remember back 5 years ago when we had dinner and where we were sitting and what I was drinking.
So whose responsibility is it for him to remember his lunchbox?
It's really his, as well as his meds. And we had that conversation today. But, you know, and there was actually a recent, you know, meme or article.
That's why I was asking you.
Yeah, going around the internet, right? That
you should leave their lunch because if it's their responsibility, they'll fend for themselves, right? And that you're just creating needy children if you save. I think with medication that you absolutely need to do that, but just curious what you did with the lunch.
I'm not bringing the lunch because you know what?
You didn't bring the lunch?
No.
That's uncomfortable for you, wasn't it?
Actually, I had to do the show, so there's just no choice.
Yeah, but did you bring him the meds?
I brought him the meds.
And you left the lunch?
Well, I didn't realize that the lunch was here until I came back from bringing the meds.
I thought you came home to get the meds and saw the lunch. And I was like, wow, you really left the lunch and just brought the meds. That would have been, that's like growth.
Yeah,
growth, Jackie McDougal.
I would have never done that.
Right.
But yeah, I brought the meds, I came back, and the lunch is here. And the lunch isn't going there because here's the thing. We would be thrown in, you know, get a visit from Child Protective Services if we did not provide our children lunch every day. I provide them a well-balanced lunch every day, and it comes home a well-balanced lunch every day. They don't even eat.
Right.
And then I get to the point where I'm like, why am I packing lunches at all?
Right.
So I don't know. Do you pack lunches? What do you guys think out there in Broadscast, in our Broadcast land? You know, do you pack the lunches? Do they come back? Do they actually eat them? My daughter likes to trade it.
Well, she's smart. No, my son actually, I'm probably getting to the point that he should be making his own lunch because he's responsible enough that he can do it. I just enjoy doing that for him in the morning so that he can get himself together. He spends time doing his hair. This past week, he's had pizza every day because we ordered a pizza and we had lots of leftovers. And so that became his lunch every day. And he has the same thing day after day because I know he's going to eat it. I'm tired of creating these really intricately packed, creative, healthy lunches, and it comes
bento
back.
Boxes.
Yes, but you know what? He doesn't eat it, and so you know he finds excuses as to why he's not eating it. When he was in elementary school, they didn't give him a ton of time for lunch, and so that was always his excuse because they gave him 5 minutes to eat and then 10 minutes to go for recess. Now when he's in junior high, he's got more freedom and. He's more casual with his time. So everything he always eats because now he tells me what he wants and I pack exactly what he wants to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have fantasies of making those like pinwheel blah blahs and little grapes and this and that for my kids.
Oh my gosh.
And I will tell you, my daughter would love it, every single day. But my sons, it comes home anyway. So I don't, what's the point of doing that? So
right.
Anyway,
they won't
that was
starve.
my morning though.
Yeah.
So do you ever leave the house like that? Like not fully in a place of being presentable?
Yes, I'm the girl that does my makeup and brush my hair. Like I come to work and go, oh shoot, I didn't brush my hair today. I'm very much like that. I mean, we weren't on the air on Wednesday, but I forgot my kid at school on Wednesday. Like I was sitting in a meeting, and paying attention to my staff, and we have training this whole week, so I was very focused. And I turned my phone over so that I could pay attention to what time I needed to pick him up for the 3:10 dismissal. And my phone was buzzing, and there were 4 or 5 text messages from Sam going, "Mom, hello, are you there? Are you coming for me? Oh, great. I'm just going to go home with Noah since you apparently don't want to come pick me up." Oh. He's like, "And when do you decide you want to do that? This is where I'm going to be." I'm like, "Oh, snap."
Wow. So
totally.
What time did he get out?
He got out at 2 o'clock he gets out at 2:05 on Wednesdays. And I just didn't know it was Wednesday.
Right.
So,
oops.
Yeah.
Remember,
I'm like that every day. I'm a mess. Yeah.
But remember when you were a kid and I was a kid, like we wouldn't have been able to text. So it's like you would have had to kind of stay there.
Oh, yeah.
Because if your parent finally came an hour later, you wouldn't be there, and then there'd be a whole ball of wax to deal with. So.
Well, and the truth is, he would have been fine. I'm thankful that my friend, grabbed him and shoved him in the car, but he would have been fine, and I obviously would have figured it out, and I'm only 10 minutes away, but it was just that, oh my God, where is my head? I can't believe I totally forgot. I spaced out. I'm, yeah. But it happens every morning. I have to count as I leave. Bag, kid, keys. Bag, kid, keys, dogs. Where are the dogs? I can't believe I left the dogs outside in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm actually counting the minutes to 10 o'clock tonight because that's when my back-to-back schedule will stop for the day, and I just need a second. So anyway, it's a big day for Broads, and we're going to talk about that. A really big day.
Really big.
Before we do that, Kim, so why are you not here in the studio? What is up?
Okay, here's the secret. I'm at work. And so I do have a job outside of Broadscast, as does Jackie. And so sometimes my work takes me out of the studio. So today I'm at my office. I'm hiding in my office while my entire staff are being trained by the National Gay and Lesbian Center today on transgender issues and LGBTQ topics, because my everyday job is to work with teenagers. And so this week I have all brand new staff in. So we've been doing mandated reporting and suicide prevention and policy and role playing with how to talk to kids about drugs and pregnancy and sex and cutting and depression. And I'm exhausted.
That must be, by the end of the week, you're just spent.
Yeah, I'm wiped. Okay, I know we like to talk about my dreams. Last night my dream was that I had an ectopic pregnancy.
Oh my gosh.
And I couldn't find the surgery. Everybody left me to go find the room where I was going to have surgery, but it was inside of a mall. And I couldn't find it, and I was walking around in my gown with my back opened and having my little piece of paper that said I had an ectopic pregnancy, and I got stuck in an elevator, and I was supposed to press the cross symbol on the elevator, but I couldn't find it, and so I ended up stuck on this floor with weird people, and then someone's like, "Is there a Kim in here?" And I said, "Yes, that's me." And she said, "All right, so there was a message that we're supposed to take out your braces." I'm like, "My braces?" She said, "Yeah, we took a test, but we don't find any braces." I'm like, "I have an ectopic pregnancy." She's like, "Oh, well, this hospital sucks." And then that was when I woke up.
Wow.
Right?
I can't even, usually I'm pretty good with dissecting your dreams, but I don't know, Kim.
You know what? I don't know either.
Well,
but this
you're
week has just been...
you're trying to give birth to a new year at school. And,
yes.
You're you have concerns.
And it's outside my womb. Yeah.
You have concerns, and it's pretty heavy. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, this has been a very big week. So yes, I am in my office today, waiting. When we're done, I'm going to go back out and train, and I'm super excited. But it is a very long week. So thanks for being flexible, Jackie, and thank you for being flexible, listeners.
So listen to this though, because you just mentioned dreams. The other 2 nights ago, I had a dream that I ran into Tina Fey, like just out and about, and she was with Seth Meyers, and she and I like totally hit it off, and then Seth Meyers would not stop asking me out, and I told him I was married, and he
that
was
makes
not,
you hotter.
That was not a concern for him, and he just would not let it go, so I woke up today, and the funny thing is I'm not really, I find Seth Meyers to be sometimes funny, but I'm not really into Seth Meyers, but it was like, and it felt like it lasted the entire night. Those dreams where you're like, it may have been a 5-part series of Seth Meyers asking me out. But,
wow.
Yeah. So I woke up and next to me was not Seth Meyers. It was Jeff McDougall. So there was that.
Is that a better thing? I don't know where you're going with that. You just kind of left us all like to wonder.
It's just real life. No, I'm kidding.
It's just Jeff.
No, I was pleasant. I was relieved. I was pleasantly surprised. So
that's funny.
Isn't it
all
funny?
Right.
Yeah.
It is funny. So today, let's talk about a couple of things. So today on August 26th, so I laughed yesterday because yesterday was National Whiskey Sour, Banana Split, and Kiss and Make Up Day.
Yeah, who makes these things up?
I don't know, but I'm so done. But today is National Webmistress Day, National Dog Day, National Women's Equality Day, and National Cherry Popsicle Day. Not to be confused with Grape Popsicle Day, but it is National Cherry Popsicle Day. So later in the year, we will celebrate watermelon or lemon and lime or Coca-Cola flavor. But today, it's just National Cherry Popsicle.
Wow. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, there's one of those days is an actual thing, and it's very important. And it's, August 26th, today's date in 1920, women finally got the right to vote.
And now we're getting some of those votes. All of our voting abilities being taken away, and our sexual rights are being challenged, and all that. We've moved so far ahead.
Right. I forgot my little sound effect. I don't even know if you could hear it from there, but I was going to say, got the right to vote. And I played a laugh. Never mind. There we go.
I didn't hear it.
A little applause over there.
Yeah.
So, women, yay!
And it's kind of cool that we now have a female, candidate for president. I mean, totally. That's like, to consider how far we've come in that regard is pretty amazing.
Yeah, except it's been almost 100 years, but
hey, we're very methodical, us chicks.
Before we get all excited about women getting the right, because some people think, women got the right to vote and then everything was equal at the end, which we all know is not the case. So I was searching the internet. And by the way, that Webmistress Day has nothing to do with affairs, and it's all about those female webmasters. So
I totally
they
thought
also get our
I
applause.
didn't see the web. I thought it was Mistress Day.
Right?
And it's like, what? Yeah. And then
I had to look it up because I was wondering. So it says, on August 26th, support and promote a webmistress you know.
I got your back, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the other. So I was looking on Bustle today, bustle.com. Mm-hmm. And did you know if you were single, all single women until 1974 had to have a male co-sign any credit application?
Did I know that, or am I surprised by that? What was the question?
The question is, what?
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Huh.
So, yeah, apparently women couldn't get credit without a man. And then up until...
And then they go and screw it up for us, so that's awesome. Oh, just me. Sorry. Sorry, that was my outside voice.
Yeah, I'm like, Kim, you said that out loud. But also, here's another one. So if you got pregnant, it wasn't until 1978 that women had their right not to be discriminated against in the workplace. So if you got pregnant, it was totally legal and acceptable to fire them or outright refuse to hire.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that. Yeah.
But the fact that was 1978. You know?
Meaning that it wasn't that long ago? Is that what you're
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
We're looking for equal pay here, but, there were a lot of even bigger issues. So, okay, then back in 1969 in California, the concept of no-fault divorce was introduced. So before that, any couple who wanted to divorce had to document some kind of fault. So, like, if
but that's state by state, though. Not every state is a no-fault state.
Yes, but you actually had to offer proof, and that you could persuade the judge to allow you to separate.
Right.
Indiana had, in 1920, some of the most relaxed divorce laws, and it allowed divorce if you under adultery, impotency, abandonment, cruel treatment, drunkenness, and commission of crimes.
Wait, you could divorce someone because they were impotent?
Yeah.
Huh. That would have been an interesting court proceeding to be a witness to.
You could divorce him, but you'd need him to co-sign. So make sure you get his co-sign before you split. Otherwise, you'd be screwed.
Not really. Yeah.
Or not. Yeah. And then the judge could actually rule that you weren't allowed to divorce if he thought he or she, well, I would assume it would be a male judge, if they viewed the problem as solvable or believed you and your spouse were guilty of collusion, recrimination, or some other. Oh, like if you both planned a fault to get divorced. So like if you really didn't have a fault, but you were like, hey, let's come up with this idea.
Oh, just because we want to be able to prove to the judge that we want out. So I'm going to tell him that you're impotent.
Yeah, exactly. And then if they find out, the judge can like make you stay married.
So how does that work?
Can you imagine if a judge made you stay married? I don't want to get too far.
Well, isn't that what the Catholic Church does? Like, isn't the Catholic Church like, aren't you? And I'm totally not dumb when it comes to this because I don't know all the rules. But like, I thought you're not allowed to get divorced in the Catholic Church. So,
well, I mean,
or is it just you can't remarry in a Catholic Church if you've been divorced?
Yeah, I think it. I mean, it's obviously frowned upon, but it's not. Yeah, I don't unless you get an annulment, and then you can get.
So Denise, my best friend Denise, her parents got divorced, and when the mom, Marianne, wanted to get remarried, she had to get an annulment even though she was divorced, she had to get an annulment from her ex-husband so that she could remarry, and it was like 20 years later or something crazy like.
Isn't that so? That's an interesting topic because if you are married for that long and you have children together, and an annulment pretty much says like, I mean. It's really
it never existed, right?
Right.
Isn't it that it never existed?
But isn't that it's just in the church? It's just in God's eyes it never existed. Although, it's still...
Doesn't that sound deceptive? Aren't you supposed to be totally honest with God? And wouldn't God just trust that you know what's best for you because you were faithful and you were spiritual and you've relied on God's insight and expertise and you've prayed, and wouldn't He then trust you to make the decision that you're done with your marriage? Like,
right.
Doesn't that kind of fly in the face of reason? If then the church says, "No, we still don't trust you," like,
but you
can't do that.
You know what the best part is? Can you imagine God's up there and He's like, "I cannot let you marry unless you get this piece of paper."
Right.
Go and do this and spend how much money does it take, and upset other people by asking for an annulment. And then I will recognize your marriage. So anyway, we still need to have a show in the future on organized religion and all the different options and all the important stuff and all the stuff that makes you go,
I'm learning all about organized religion because, as you know, I'm still battling my HOA with my friggin' menorah that is up in my window. So yesterday when I went and took my son to get his weekly tutoring session with the temple for his upcoming bar mitzvah, I very casually asked the tutor, the cantor Kenny, "Hey, so what does a menorah mean?" He's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I'm like, "No, really, just tell me what a menorah means." And so we had this really lengthy conversation, and he's like, "Basically, Kim, if it's not lit, it's a candelabra." I'm like, "Thank you." So I'm going balls out. I'm going balls to the wall with this whole menorah thing. So I'm getting a very, yeah. So but we don't need to go into it, but just for our listeners' sake, my HOA is forcing me to remove a menorah from my window because it's not
the house.
Inside my house, right? Because it's not Hanukkah, and they also made me remove my snowman because it's not winter. because snowmen represent all winter holidays.
Oh,
So
have they never seen Frozen?
I'll bring that up at the board meeting.
My favorite thing ever is like huge summer blowout. Like, it was summer, man. Yeah, you should bring that up. Yeah. Actually, if you acted a little crazy
I'll put
haven't
on a
you
wig.
Seen Frozen?
Yeah. I'll put the wig on and be, is it Elsa? I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I'll come in and I'll say, let it go, let it go. Yeah. And then I'll
Okay. I seriously, if you do that, I'm going to come in and record that because I think our audience really needs to,
we'll Facebook Live my HOA, me being a good Jew.
That would be awesome because there's no rule against that, right?
No, God, no.
Hey, so do you know anyone who's filed for divorce this month?
No, I don't know. I know.
Do you know
maybe.
that August is one of the top 2 months that people file for divorce? August and March.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. August, because it's before the holidays, so people don't want to get hooked into Christmas and Thanksgiving, and then you get hooked into Valentine's Day, and so people get divorced before then, so they don't have to buy all those extra gifts.
Well, I think they say, well, at least on
and a tax break, right?
At least on Bustle, they say because the summer is ending and like all those, planned holidays and
family trips,
vacations and things like that. But also September is often seen as a month of new beginnings. So,
really? Oh, yeah. Because it's like fall,
right? It's like a new season. It's a new school year. I always see September as like New Year's Eve light, where I'm going to get back on track and do all that good stuff. So
really?
Yeah. Also,
and why March? Why March?
Well, hold on. Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
So, and also people are more secure in August, supposedly, because if they didn't get a chance to file for divorce in March, they finally get to that reconciliation within themselves that they can file, that they have the strength to file.
And they still have their bikini bod, and they're all hot and tan from the summer, so they feel like they can.
But March is because it's after the holidays, and if you have kids, you want to be together for Hanukkah and Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, and New Year's offers a hope of a new beginning, so they kind of try to hold it out, thinking, "Oh, this is going to work."
And then by March, they're like, "F it."
And yeah, exactly. And another point is that money needs to be saved. So if you're spending all your money during the holidays, you need a few months to like recoup. And yeah, and spring is just spring motivates people to make changes and
spring cleaning.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So, yeah. What month did you file for divorce?
February.
Oh,
nope. Wait, that's a lie. I asked for my separation in February. I can't remember when we actually filed, but I asked for separation in February. But I've been hinting for had been saying for a long time. Like Thanksgiving was actually the first time that I remember feeling like I wanted to be done. So it took a long time for us to get to the place where he finally left.
Right. Well, and you also, you had the same thing with the kid and holidays and all that stuff.
No, not really, actually, because our life was different. That because he was a pilot, so he was gone a lot, and so I don't even remember us spending holidays. We kind of did off holidays together. I was with my dad and my kid for Thanksgiving. I wasn't even with my ex-husband, so I finally said something in November, and then got up the courage to actually say the words in February. Although I asked and said I wanted to separate, but I actually said I wanted divorce in February, which that was really hard. So,
Yeah. Well, if August, maybe you should have waited for August. I don't know.
Oh God, no. I couldn't even hang on till March.
Right. So, all right. So women, yay. We have lots of things. So moving on, Ryan Lochte, he's like the bad boy of the year.
What did you know?
Everybody's talking about Ryan Lochte. He actually may be one of the Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, where people go to rehabilitate their careers. Really? Really?
Well, I think we should play a game when they announce Dancing with the Stars.
Who are you?
Well, yeah, like I don't know if it's them or me being unhip and not necessarily clued into what's going on in pop culture at times, but I often don't know half of them.
Yeah, it's not pop culture. They're trying to resurrect careers.
But they're sometimes careers in a category that we don't know anyway. Like
Ian
motocross,
Ziering.
bike.
Who's Ian Ziering?
What?
Ian Ziering.
Ian Ziering.
Oh, Ian, excuse me.
Didn't you watch 90210?
I did, but what was Ian Ziering doing 3 years ago that he needed to be on Dancing with the Stars? Nothing.
Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, is it the Stars? Oh,
yeah,
there's a
as
charity
opposed
event
to a
called
local
Dancing
event.
with the Stars. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, come on, Kim.
Sorry.
DWTS. Yeah. So, I mean, but at least Ian Ziering, they're pulling people out, and I understand that. And there's like a nostalgia factor. So, some people, if they liked him from back, then they may watch. But some of them are like these obscure, like, so-and-so from like motocross racing, or I don't know. It's like different areas that we wouldn't necessarily know. But what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea for Ryan Lochte?
You know what?
Or do you just not give a crap?
I don't give a crap. Honestly, I watched Dancing with the Stars when I was performing in Dancing with Our Stars, because I got really into dancing at the time, and I loved to watch the dancing, and I was like, oh, that's the dance move I'm doing, and I would dance all around my living room when it was on, and now I could care less.
You couldn't care less?
Couldn't care less. I knew you were going to. I was trying to catch it before you corrected me.
So
I don't care. I mean, I get inspired when I see, not celebrities, when I see people that, there was a gentleman a couple years ago who was an actor, I think, on one of the soaps, and he, was a burn victim.
Yes.
That was incredible. I remember, like, the people that are overcoming challenges and obstacles and disabilities, that I think is incredible. But it used to be that you're not supposed to have any dance background. So now they started bringing in pop stars. They started bringing in gymnasts. I just feel like it's
right.
So keep it true to what it originally was, that you were never technically, you were supposed to have 2 left feet, and you were absolutely supposed to be trained. So when they started, what's his face from Backstreet Boys, or, he was a dance, like that was
98 Degrees. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, he didn't have formal dance training or.
Yeah. No.
But I have to say, I was very hard on Mr. Lochte last week or earlier this week. And I think this is a great move. I think, because...
But do you think it's the cha-cha-cha? No. It didn't work.
But I think, given... we don't know him, and America doesn't know him. And if there is something about him that is... if he's a likable person, or clearly he works hard. He has no fear of training hard. So that'll, he's going to work hard and probably do well. And
I don't know if they've officially agreed it. I thought it was just in conversation. Did something, is that for sure now, or is it still up in the air?
I heard that it was absolutely, positively, possibly likely.
Okay, so yesterday on social media, there was a funny video that was going around. I don't know how old it was, but there was a video of 2 news anchors that were interviewing Ryan Lochte, and I guess he had a reality show, Living with Ryan, or What's Up, Ryan? I don't have any idea. And it basically followed Ryan Lochte around, and so he was doing an interview to promote the show, and they were asking him questions, and he was just... couldn't answer. It was just this weird disconnect. I'm not sure if there was like an echo or something. And the only thing that Ryan Lochte said was, I really feel that if you're a man at night, that you should be a man in the morning. And the anchors were making fun of him, and then they signed off with Ryan Lochte, and then they lost it. They could not keep they were laughing. So I'll have to put it up on our Facebook page so people can see it. But I literally was cracking up in my office listening, and as I was supposed to be training, but I really took a break. It was hilarious. But Ryan Lochte, he's just kind of a buffoon. Like, I don't want him to talk. And the anchor kept saying, but he's just so cute. He's just so cute, but just keep your mouth. Don't talk.
I think that's why people want him to dance. And
so we could just watch him.
And look good. And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that people want him to talk so much, because that kind of gets in the way.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But we have to take a quick break, Ms. Goldman.
Right.
And
Okay.
then we're going to come back with lots more fun Broadscast chatter. We'll be right back. Why should you become a Broadscast sponsor? Broad multimedia exposure, including radio, web, iTunes, YouTube, and social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
A quick, easy way to reach your target demo, women. Exclusive, limited time only, affordable introductory rates.
Plus, 20 years experience in on-air and online marketing. We produce your one-of-a-kind creative in-house, saving you time and money.
For more on becoming a Broadscast sponsor, visit broadscast.com today.
You're listening to Broadscast with Kim Goldman and Jackie McDougall, two broads with faces made for radio.
Welcome back to Broadscast with Kim Goldman and Jackie McDougall. Check us out and interact and connect with us on social media, Broadscast on Facebook and Instagram, and Broadscast Show on Twitter. And email us, broads@broadscast, if you want to be a guest or a sponsor or just want to shoot the breeze. So Kim's out of the studio today, if you're just joining us, and saving lives, changing the world, training.
Yeah.
So you do this training like every year with your new staff because you get new staff every year.
Right.
So do you ever get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I know this?
You know, it was funny. So for those people that don't know, I provide counseling to teenagers, and every year we partner with Cal State Northridge, their master's, their social work program, and so I get first or second year master's level students who are looking to complete hours for their internship to get a good grade, or to get experience, excuse me. And so we train them because oftentimes, despite the fact that they're in the social work program, they don't have a ton of experience working with our population. So we do 1 or 2 week long trainings where we have to just basically purge every experience we've had, every tip we've had, every opportunity for learning and mental health tips and clinical training. And it's exhausting. But I did go away on Tuesday night going, I'm good at this, which I think I was really proud of myself for being able to acknowledge it, because I don't think that we as employees ever take time to acknowledge when we're successful or when we're good at something, or to really pause and acknowledge that we are good, because we're just so in it. But yeah, this has been a long week, because we're trying to prepare these people to go out in the world and make a difference. And, they're nervous because it's such a responsibility. And we're trying to give them as many options, when they're sitting in front of a kid that tells them they want to have sex, or they got beat up, or Uncle Johnny molested them, or they want to kill themselves, or they're cutting. I mean, we use all real life scenarios that have happened with our agency. So that's hard. But then we also get to talk about the growth and the challenges that students are able to overcome. And so it's heavy, but it's really inspiring. But yeah, I'm toast.
Well, and obviously I tell you all the time how much I admire and respect your work, especially when I pick up a project that's like, the frill, the filler of life. But do you think that's a female thing that we don't? Let me give you an example. So I reached out to a potential guest who's coming on the show, and she said, I'm convinced you have me mixed up with somebody else. And, because she just didn't think that she was somebody that we would want to book on the show, or, and so I responded with I think we all think we're being mixed up with somebody else. But do you think, and you and I talk about this, why would anybody want to listen to us, or why would anybody want, and yet they do, and yet people sponsor, and all these things that we wonder why, but we are so eternally grateful. But is that a female thing or just a human thing?
I don't know. I mean, I think I tend to find in the circles that I run in that it's probably more of a female thing. I think that I don't know. I don't remember ever being encouraged as I was growing up to never not appreciate my own successes. I think it was just you don't gloat. Even with my son, I'm always telling him, you don't need to gloat, but then I wanted to be confident. So how do you be confident, without gloating? And I think there's a real art to that. And I think it's hard for people to say, I'm good at what I do, because that sounds like you're being an arrogant a-hole, And so how do you acknowledge your strengths and that you're successful at something without sounding cocky? And I think that's where, at least for me, I struggle. I have a real hard time acknowledging when I'm good at something because it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn. And since when does that have to be a bad thing?
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's important to have confidence because I think confidence isn't necessarily what you say, but what you believe and how you do it. So,
right.
You know, you don't need to tell other people. I think those people who tell other people how great they are at stuff sometimes are trying to convince themselves.
Right.
But you knowing this within yourself and telling yourself this because that's important to stay, confident that will just help your actions, which...
Yeah, but it also can get dangerous because when people, just using this example, when people say, oh my gosh, Kim, what you do is so great, I also tend to sometimes diminish it because I don't want to sound like, I'm so great.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you can't do anything that... I feel the same way. If somebody has a positive comment, I try to convince them that I'm not so... I'm crap. Don't...
Right.
Because
you
I
downplay it.
Yeah, and I often tell people my mistakes or my faults before they find them out for themselves and think I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do that. Well, sometimes I guess as I get older, I don't because I don't care as much. I guess I just feel like I don't need to constantly be reporting, telling everybody how great I am or the impact that I'm having. I would like to think that my reputation precedes itself and that the impact that I'm leaving has really nothing to do with me, but the opportunities that I've been given and what we get to do with them. And I have always believed that I'm only as good as the people I surround myself with. So when people talk to me about how I'm really the life changer, it's like, you know what? I am one cog in the wheel of this incredible opportunity that the Youth Project has been given in a community where we're welcome and with kids. I mean, they're the ones that are making the difference because they're the ones that are showing up every week. I'm helping them and we are helping them facilitate their growth. So when someone says, you're making such a difference, I'm like, you know what? I've just been given a great opportunity. I'm doing good with it. And that sometimes sounds like I'm diminishing it.
I don't think so. I think that's the sign of a good leader. I mean, first of all, your new staff and all of your staff in the past have been trained by not only you, but, experts in each individual field.
Right.
And so, and there's a huge amount of credit to be given to the kids because how strong are they at that age to step forward and say, I need help?
Right.
That's very hard to do.
Yeah. Well, and, we talk a lot in here, about choice and, creating choice for people and how empowering that can be when you have a choice, even if you end up making a choice that doesn't always lend itself to the most positive outcome. Having choice is huge. And what we try to facilitate, at least here at the Youth Project, is to give kids the opportunity to choose for themselves what and how they want to live their life. And they get to choose different coping mechanisms. They get to choose different ways to be healthy and how to get themselves out of jams. I mean, there's so much power in choice that, it's a learning opportunity for me. And I always tell my staff this, that going through our training and then doing the work that we do will be great for their family relationships, their future, employer relationships, their spouses, their significant others, because you really are reminding people how to communicate, how to be good listeners, to be an active listener, to have compassion, to validate. Like, who doesn't need more of that in their life? So,
Yeah. Well, you're doing great work, Kim Goldman.
I totally am, Jackie McDougall.
Hey, so we only have a few minutes left. Well, a little while.
We have
left.
more than a few minutes, yeah.
Yeah, but I want to go over to Facebook because we want to talk about what's trending on Facebook.
Okay, well, before we do that, can we just, something struck me. Did you see the thing about the Pledge of Allegiance?
I did not. Tell me.
Okay, so in Leon County, which I forget where that is. Is that Florida? Oh my God, I'm forgetting where it is. Oh yeah, Florida, sorry. Okay. That there was a note that went home to parents that you could opt out of the Pledge of Allegiance. What do you think of that?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's, it's funny because I guess by expressing myself here on the show that people could see me as a liberal, as a Democrat, even though I consider myself independent, as you and I have talked about. But I do think we're getting to the point where, oh my God, we have to stop every single thing. Like, I think we should be respectful to all nations, all backgrounds, all religions, all, gender, sex, all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know this. I get on my soapbox on a regular basis to talk about it. But we are in America. We're in America, and the Pledge of Allegiance is something that we do. So even if you come from another country and this is where you are, like, this is what we do here. Right. This is our thing. We don't monitor your emails, and we don't, force you to.
Well, the Russians do.
Yeah. But we don't we have many, many freedoms. But this is a national way that we recognize and honor our country. And this is what we do in public school.
Right. So some of the feedback has been that our flag is a symbol of our country. Pledging your allegiance to our American flag means that you pledge to uphold our values of liberty and justice for all. So what happened in Florida, so this is a quote, so Leon County Schools values patriotism, civic responsibility, and the Pledge of Allegiance. A change to Florida law this year requires that all school districts publish in the Student Code of Conduct booklet that the students have the right to not participate in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. And people are up in arms about it. That what
are your thoughts?
My thoughts is I think it's ridiculous. I think we are in a place in this country that everybody has the right to everything, and we can have 20 different views or one view that is a polar opposite of the other 20 views in the room, but we're going to change everything to accommodate that one view. And I find it I find it disrespectful. If you are as a single person, single family, don't want your kid to recite the Pledge of Allegiance for some effed up reason, then quietly don't. But to require that the rest of us can opt out and make a big stink about it, and now it's a law that we have to give everyone the option. I mean, just give me a break.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's too much. And we're constantly talking about, different groups of people and how they deserve rights, and they do. But now we're talking about, and it's interesting because I'm on the fence with, you have transgender kids. I feel like you need to give them a place to use the restroom that they identify, right? So, you just said you don't change the rule for 20 for one, but in that case,
you're not creating a new place. You're just not fighting them when they want to go to the bathroom. I mean, there's a difference.
Right. But
you're not creating a new thing. You're just letting them be cool with where they go.
Yeah. But when it comes to this, it's we grew up saying the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, and there were probably kids who didn't know it, didn't say it, didn't whatever.
But why wouldn't you say the Pledge of Allegiance? What is so gross about the Pledge of Allegiance that someone would be like, hell no? It's the same. Listen, I wouldn't be comfortable if my son was asked to say a religious prayer in the morning, being that he's Jewish, and the religious prayer had something to do with Jesus Christ. I wouldn't make a stink, but I would just tell my son, you know what, say your own prayer. Say something that works for you. But that has happened too. We've come a long way, forcing different opinions on people or religious values. But when it comes to Pledge of Allegiance, really? I just don't, it's on your friggin' money, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to say the Pledge of Allegiance, so you're not going to use money either?
No, that's perfect. You can opt out, but we opt out of you being able to use our currency.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Ugh.
I know. And I feel like, you and I, well, I can only speak for myself, but I have played it a little bit safe. We are in we're doing this public thing, and we have people who listen, but I really am getting tired. I think I'm joining your dark side. I'm getting tired of every little thing. And they talk about colleges and that there have to be safe, people get their feelings hurt and this and that. And somebody actually took me to task on, the video I did with my daughter, because there was that Gold's Gym ad.
Right.
And they said, this is no shape for a girl, and it was a pear.
Right.
And he was like, this is over the top, and this and that, and just don't go to Gold's Gym. And I'm like, hey, you're not wrong. I'm not petitioning that everybody sign something. I'm just teaching my daughter that if she thinks something is bogus, stand up and say it, and you should feel totally comfortable with expressing your opinions and feeling strongly, you know? And so that's really what I was doing. I wasn't crying. I wasn't like, boo, Gold's Gym, you hurt my feelings. You know, I was trying to teach Lucy to like, hey, this is lame. This is not right. So let's let them know what's up.
Yeah, I guess I just, you know, we were talking in the training before I came in here, we were talking about LGBTQ issues and like what are certain stereotypes. And, you know, that one of the trainers that came in, she said that, you know, years ago, the term queer was really derogatory and you know, highly offensive if you use that term. But now it's a word that's being celebrated and it's used to empower. And I raised my hand. I'm like, how do we get those memos? Because I'm really trying to be respectful and responsive to the change. And if you within a group are constantly changing what you want and what you're asking those of us outside the group, how do we work with you? And she said, we get that all the time. And she said, some people even within the LGBTQ population are offended by the word queer, but we're really trying to change the culture and have queer be a good thing. And I was like, I'm so confused half the time. Everybody's so like needing to make their stance be the biggest and the boldest and the baddest. And they're so indignant that I think we forget like how to be human with each other. We're just so wanting to fight and battle that like, sometimes I just want to like not, and I just want to laugh and hug and be cool, but we're so busy being indignant all the time. Like, I think we forgot how to be human, you know, that, and it's exhausting to kind of always be changing and always be open and always be like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up.
Who decides that like something that is a term that we use is suddenly a derogatory, like, I don't know.
It's like the N-word, right? If you end it with an ER, that's bad, but with an A, it's good. Like no. Fat with the PH is good, but fat, like, seriously, I mean,
yeah, I don't think the N-word, no matter what you end it with.
Well, but there are people that say it if it ends with an A, as long as you're black, you use it, it's good. But if you call each other the same thing with an ER, that's bad. It depends. But if you smile when you say it, it's not bad. But if you use it, like, I really can't.
Well, we're doing kind of the same thing with broad, right? Because I've gotten some feedback before that were like, broad, oh my gosh, isn't that a derogatory term? And I'm like, only if you decide it is. Right. You know what I mean? Like we have, and I've talked about this before. I have a friend who's like now in his 80s, and he's a really cool guy that I worked with. And he's like, you know, you have a choice of what you're offended by.
Right.
You can give them your power or you cannot, you know?
Right.
And so, you know, he used a specific word and I was like, what? You know, and I was probably in my 20s. And then he was like, you can decide right now if that's going to like ruin your day and throw you into a tizzy, or if you're going to just like, it's a word.
Listen, our friend Lisa, our mutual friend Lisa, I always laugh at her. Lisa is so offended by the word fart. She hates the word fart. She thinks it's disgusting. It's classless. But Lisa is the first of all of my friends to constantly use the word C-U-N-T in a conversation. She loves C-U-N. I didn't say anything. I'm spelling it out. She loves saying see you next Tuesday. So, but fart throws her over the edge. And so, you know what?
Everybody has their thing.
Everyone has their thing.
All right. So quick, because we've got about 7 minutes left. But so head over to Facebook. What's trending? So Go Topless Day. Returns.
You tried that this morning, didn't you?
What's that? I know.
You tried that this morning.
No, that was just braless. But in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, police have no plans to increase staffing for Go Topless Day on Sunday. They anticipate the event will be like any other day at the beach. So, yeah, they're exercising their right under the law to go topless. So apparently there's it started last year. And let's see. Oh, and the forecast for Sunday is sunny weather, in case you were concerned about that. Last year it rained. And so several dozen last year went topless throughout the beach. And some gathered at the Seashell Stage. Oh, say that. Seashell Stage.
Seashell Stage.
Seashell. So
I will not be going to. Didn't we have a show about this years ago about being topless? Well, I know that we're coming up on our 100th episode, but I feel like we talked about not seashells. We talked about being topless at a beach, didn't we?
Yeah, I actually think it was when this law when it came into play that you could go topless there. So yeah, it's fascinating. But you know what's so funny? The best part of the story is the fact that was where I used to go as a teenager, and like my late teens, with friends and to party and all that good stuff. So little do they know, I think the topless thing started back in the late 80s, early 90s.
That was you? You were the trendsetter?
I was, way before they really knew it was cool.
Fly free, little birds.
So, hey, so EpiPen, did you hear about this?
Yes.
What's up? So, in 2007, EpiPens were $100, right, for the 2-pack, and now it's $600. And the maker is ticking off a lot of people, including Sarah Jessica Parker, who had a relationship with them. So, I don't even understand.
Wait. Did you forget the rest of the story? That the CEO of that company, didn't she give herself like a 600% raise, and then she shipped the manufacturers to out of state? Like, isn't that the rest of the story?
I don't know. I don't see it in this thing. Let me look here.
Okay, you keep talking about Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah.
No, I was just. She had a relationship with them, and that's sadly sometimes that's what will get this story any sort of coverage.
Yeah.
Is if you have a celebrity who actually, they're offering some patients aid on the cost of EpiPens. I don't understand why. Let's see.
Why what?
They're going to offer some more financial assistance. I don't know why they're raising it so much. Like, it's not like does it cost more to make? And why are they now offering discounts for a select few?
Well, I wonder if it has anything to do with the change in our insurance structure here. I mean, this is an area that I have no idea, but yeah, I don't know. But it's like that. Isn't it like that guy? Didn't he? I forget his name. The one that increased the price for AIDS medication.
Oh yeah,
he did the same thing, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, the EpiPen, it says out of the $600 list price, it only gets $274. The rest goes to pharmacy benefit managers, insurers, wholesalers, and retail pharmacies. So, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I understand if you want to say, hey, you know what, Botox is now $1,000 a unit, then okay, for those who don't necessarily need it. But when you're talking about AIDS medication and, an EpiPen, which is a life-saving, like someone who's having a life-threatening allergy, they are so important. And they don't last all that long. It's not like you can keep the EpiPen. I mean, you use it once and you're done. But even if you don't use it, I think it only lasts a year. Because I had them, when my son with allergies was younger. We just did it just in case because we didn't know how severe it could be.
Right.
But yeah, it's how are they doing that with? It just seems inhumane to me.
Okay, so according to the Securities and Exchange Commission filings, the CEO, she's a senator's daughter. Her Bresh, I already forgot her name. What is her first name? Something Bresh. Her total compensation went from $2.4 million to $18.9 million in 2015. That's a striking 671% increase. That period coincides from 2007 to 2015. That period coincides with the time when her company acquired the rights to EpiPen and suddenly hiked the average wholesale price from about $55 to $320, and now it costs between $600 and $700.
That's crazy. I mean, how does she how does she go to bed? Like, how does she sleep
on very
at night?
fancy sheets?
Right?
Just people sleeping for her and dreaming for her. Yeah, it's Heather Brush. That's her name.
That's BS. I just don't think that's
we're in the wrong business.
Right. So the other thing,
actually, we would never do that, but we are in the wrong business.
We're in the right business, baby. We're going to make that kind of money. $18 million next year. Hey, so before we go, Krispy Kreme is partnering with Reese's to make peanut butter donuts.
Ew.
Don't knock it till you try it. That sounds pretty.
Ew.
Yeah, actually.
I'm not a big donut fan.
No?
But what are they going to do with it? Like stuff them with peanut butter?
They feature, Reese's peanut butter sauce filling, chocolate icing, peanut butter chips, and vanilla biscuit crumbs. Yeah, that seems like a bit too much. And for me, I have such a sweet tooth that it's surprising that anything's too much. Okay, with a minute left, again, if you could head over to our website, broadscast.com, and sign up for the newsletter because we have lots of huge things happening in September. Some great guests.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. And also, a new station coming up and lots of other things and video. I'm so glad today after my braless trip to school and my need for color in my hair that we are on radio. But we will have some videos coming out soon as well.
I know we're signing off, but the best part of this little experience with me being in my office is that my Skype camera is not working. So you can't see me, but I've been watching you this whole show, and it's so fun to watch you. Like you're talking to the air, and you're looking up at the sky. So it's so. I feel like I'm a fly on the wall.
Kim.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Hey, so yeah,
and thank you for putting your shirt on.
Sure, and head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel because then you'll be ready for all the videos that are coming. But we got to go. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace out, 5Gs.
Peace out.
You're listening to Broadscast with Kim Goldman and Jackie McDougall. Two broads with faces made for radio.